Hello, just another update. I think I mentioned in the last video that I was painting some 95th rifles, and yeah, I finished them now, so I thought I'd put a video before I put them in the box. Hopefully I will get them out fairly soon and use them, and they won't just stay in the box forever. It'd be a bit of a waste. But yeah, no, I had good fun with these. They're Warlord games. Metals. I know they've brought some of these out in the plastics recently, but this is one of the metal sets I bought probably a couple of years ago now, to be honest. Like so many other things I've bought, they're sort of hanging around waiting to be painted. Some probably never will, but that's the way it goes. But yeah, these ones I've did those voltigeurs and getting quite interested in the Napoleonics again, so I thought I'd do another unit while I'm in the mood, so to speak. Yeah, nice figures. I think you get a box of 16 figures, which is enough for sort of 2 skirmish units like this for sharp practice. And I made some sort of character type figures I'll put up in a minute as well. But yeah, as I say, basically nice figures. There always seems to be something about the metals that more enjoyable to paint than plastics. I don't know why, but there you go. Maybe it's just the weight to the thing, I don't know, but yeah, no, I enjoyed doing them. A couple of very minor things, which a bit of a pain, but not the end of the world. This guy's sword was broken off for some reason. So I bought the figures a long time ago, so it's far too late now to do anything about it, I'm sure. And also this guy's got a slightly miscast face on this side for some reason. Sort of painted it and tried to make it, it's not quite so noticeable when you get some paint on it, but it was all very uneven and yeah, just a little bit mangled, to be honest, but say not the end of the world. There's another figure in the box. I'm sure that's probably just a one-off, but I'll be able to check when I get that figure out. But yeah, no, nice collection of poses. Look like a sort of unit in full skirmish. Yeah, exactly what I wanted, really. Very pleased with them. So yeah, that's the main sort of unit. I did some character figures as well. Yeah, which is these guys. So it gives me essentially an officer. I'll put some stills up at the end so you can see them a bit more closely, but yeah, essentially got an officer, sergeant, which would be again probably a sort of a lower level officer, and I've also got this guy. He's quite an interesting figure. I believe it's probably based, I think there's some sort of I don't know if it's a myth or fact. Some guy pulled off an amazing shot in the rifles of some ridiculous distance. Was it 300 yards or something silly? And apparently did it from the sitting position, and this is I guess what that figure's based on. But yeah, no, again, nice unusual figure. I actually use him in the sharp practice rules. You can have, say, extra characters, and you are allowed to have a marksman with your skirmisher unit. So I thought this guy's significantly different, that I'd sort of have him as a marksman figure. So if I wanted to use a marksman in the unit, I can swap him out for one of the other figures, and I'll know what I'm looking at then, because it's pretty distinctive and unusual. But yeah, again, a nice figure. Quite enjoyed doing him. So yeah, that's the 95th rifles. So another unit done. I'm looking at the moment at just some sort of line units I've got. I'll come back to that in a second. Actually, they make more sense when I've done the last figure. Yes, this guy as well I've done. Well, finished up really. Story goes, I've got a game in February, and I need an extra unit of voltigeurs to make up the force. And I needed an officer as well. I mentioned that in the last video, and I've done a fairly grandiose high level officer, but what I really needed was a sergeant. I just did the officer figure because he was handy, and I thought he'd do for proxy for what I needed. But then I remembered, a couple of years ago, I painted up a battalion of French infantry just because I fancied it. I did put a video up, but so it was a long time ago now, and I thought they were well painted at the time, but I've got a bit better since then. I think learnt a few new techniques and what have you. So I remembered this unit, and I thought, oh, sorry, I'll use them for sharp practice anyway. So I pulled them off the bases. I'd put them on. It's always a schoolboy error. Don't put figures on bases until you know what game you're going to be playing, because you'll always end up finding you've done it wrong. You'll have to start again. So yeah, just took them off their sort of multi bases, and I thought this guy was I think again he's Warlord, he's a metal figure. he's in their French command pack, but it's as an officer of the Voltigeurs, so I thought he'd make a decent sergeant. Yeah, so nice figure. I did him a couple of years ago, painted him up in the way I painted him at the time, but I wanted to get him more in the way I'm painting now, which I think is a little bit better. Getting a lot more highlights and things on, so the figures pop a little bit better than they used to. So yeah, I just tidied him up basically. There's a couple of colours I'd got quite wrong. I hadn't put the white cartridge cover over the cartridge pouch, for example. A couple of things I hadn't quite got right, so I changed those and just tidied things up a little bit. Put the wash over the top and did the highlights, and he's come out a lot better than he was before, I think. So yeah, I'm quite happy to use him. So yeah, so now I've got all the figures I need for my game. Yeah, he's got a loaf of bread in his back, which will be quite useful later on. But yeah, no, nice figure. I'm pleased with him. So yeah, so what I was saying about the next thing, because I had this unit of French, it was 24 figures, so I've now pulled them all off their bases and put them onto single bases, and I'll probably say, like I've done with this guy, tighten them up a little bit, make them look a little bit better, and that'll give me another unit or two for sharp practice. I think for the standard line infantry you'd need 8 figures, so I should be able to do a unit or two of those out of what I've already done without too much extra effort. So yeah, that's nice. So yeah, been rambling a while now about not a great deal, but yeah, just an update really on where we are. Also just to say Happy New Year to everybody. Seems to have been lots of sort of Christmas and New Year videos going around, so they've been really good to watch. Enjoying seeing what everybody got for Christmas. I didn't get actually an awful lot hobby wise, to be honest. The main thing I did get, wife got me a packet of the Victrix Republican Roman Cavalry. I haven't got them to hand, but obviously there's loads of shots around on the internet of them and stuff if you wanted to see them. But I did have a quick look and they look very nice. I'm probably planning at some point in the not too distant future to do a few Republican Romans to go up against my Carthaginians. And there's actually some figures in there in the sort of cuirass rather than the chainmail, which according to Victrix anyway can be used as Carthaginian cavalry as well. So that's probably what I'll do first, and then the remainder will be made up as Roman cavalry and painted up somewhere else down the line. But yeah, that's all things for further in the future. But yeah, so just an update. Happy New Year again to everybody. Really enjoying your videos. Keep them coming. Thanks for watching, subscribing, everything else, and I'll leave it there. Put some stills up quickly of the figures, and we'll speak to you again soon. Take care. All the best.